So my plan today would be to do 5E and hopefully 6A, maybe 6B. But maybe, given the class size, we might just do 5E and some folio. We'll see how everybody's feeling. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're really looking at applications of our unit circle, and we should find this exercise pretty okay. So we're going to be looking at our unit circle and drawing on that. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to fill it in. We're going to find the angle 5 pi on top of 4. Okay, so we look around our unit circle for those angles. 5 pi on top of 4. It corresponds with 225 degrees. That's the degree angle. And we are asked to fill in what is sine of theta at that point. Now sine is the y value. So what's the y coordinate there? We have minus root 2 on top of 2. What's the cos value? Minus root 2 on top of 2. And what's the tan value? 1. Okay, so tan is written around the outside there. Tan is also sine divided by cos. So if we have that divided by that, it's the same thing at the top and the bottom. It will simplify to 1. Okay, now minus 60 degrees, what that means, if here's our unit circle, minus 60 means going 60 degrees in this direction. Okay, so if we're going 60 degrees in the clockwise direction, that means the angle here is 300 degrees. Okay, so a full rotation is 360, but we're going back 60. So that means we're looking at 300 degrees. And again, we have what is sine of minus 60? It's the same as sine of 300. And the y value at this point is negative root 3 on 2. The x value, so looking at the unit circle, the x value at 300 degrees is positive half. And then the tan value we have is negative root 3. Okay, so let's all flip back to our unit circle, because we've got probably enough people for everyone to answer one here, just about. So 2 pi on 3. So let's all find 2 pi on 3 on the unit circle. Alright, and we'll start with Finn. So 2 pi on 3, we want the y value for the sine. That's going to be? Very good, everyone can see that. Okay, how about Merlin, the cos value?
Oh.
Cos is x. We'll help you out. Yep, can you see that one there?
Yeah.
Yep, good. Okay, and then
the one above
tan's the one above it, Riley, which is
negative root 3.
negative root 3, very good. Okay, so then we have 315 degrees. Let's all locate that point. Okay, so sine is the y value. So what's the y value at 315 degrees? We'll go Rainy.
315.
Yep.
Negative root 2 over 2.
Very good. And Bridie, the x value.
Positive root 3 over 2.
Good. And Ruby, the tan value.
Negative 1.
Excellent, really good. Okay, so then that's how we're going to fill in a table for question 1. Let's have a look at question 2. What this means, we're going to evaluate it. It means sine of 60 times cos of 30. So again, we're looking at our unit circle, and we'll go to 60 degrees. Okay, so sine of 60, that's going to be the y value. So Bree, sine of 60 will be? Very good. So this part here, sine of 60, that simplifies to root 3 on 2. Good. And Envita, we'll go to 30 degrees. The cos value is the x coordinate. Root 3 on 2 as well. And then all we're going to do is evaluate that. Okay? We're going to evaluate root 3 on 2 times root 3 on 2. Now when we're multiplying fractions, it's the top times the top. So root 3 times root 3 is 3. And the bottom times the bottom, 2 times 2 is 4. That's going to be our answer. In fact, if you type this into your calculator, would you calculate it in degrees or radians? Degrees, yeah, these angles are in degrees. Okay, when it's expressed in terms of pi, that's radians. Here it's in degrees. If your calculator's in degrees and you type that in, it'll pop out 3 on 4 or 0.75. Really good. Okay, let's go to sine of pi on 4 plus cos of pi on 4. So this time we'll look back at our unit circle and we've got pi on 4, so that's 45 degrees. What's the sine value? The sine is the y value. What's the y value here? We'll go, Harry. What? Yeah, 1 on top of, now it's a bit difficult to read, it's 1 on top of root 2. So you're right. And the x value, you can tell me the x value as well because it's the same. 1 on root 2, very good. Okay, now we have 1 on root 2 plus 1 on root 2. What this will simplify to, right, these have the same denominator, which means we can add them together. Okay, because these fractions have the same denominator, we can add the numerators. So that will become 1 plus 1, that's 2 on top of the square root of 2. Very good. Okay, on to C. We have 3 sine squared of pi on 3, take away cos of pi. Now what this means is it means 3 times sine of pi on 3 squared, take away cos of pi. So we've got to sort of remember a bit of bed mass here. The first thing we have to do is find out what's sine of pi on 3. Alright, so what we'll do, we'll go to the angle pi on 3. Sine is the y value. So the y value at pi on 3 is root 3 on top of 2. So we're just going to substitute that where the sine of pi on 3 is. We'll also, at the same time, we'll substitute the cos of pi. Cos pi. Alright, so the angle is pi, 180 degrees. The cos value is the x-coordinate. In this case, it's -1. Okay, so all we've done in our first step is substitute in the trig ratio. Sine of pi on 3, that's root 3 on 2. Cos of pi, that's -1. Okay, now in terms of bed mass, we need to first apply the exponent. So we have root 3 on 2 squared. So that means the 3 is just going to hang out the front for now. So root 3 squared is positive 3, and 2 squared is 4. Okay? And then it's going to be plus 1, because we have take -1. Then in bed mass, we would do division and multiplication. So we're going to have 3 times 3 is 9 on 4, plus 1. We need them to have the same denominator. 1 we would express as 4 on top of 4. Yeah, 4 divided by 4 is 1. And then we can add them together, we get 13 on 4. So that means if you type this into your calculator, and your calculator is set in radians, okay, this one's in radians, our answer would be 13 on 4. Really good. We do have one more question, which is find theta given sine theta is half. Okay, so that's for 3a. We have sine theta is half, and we're told a restriction in radians, which means we're going to answer the question in radians. Sine is the y value. So we need to look at the unit circle and go, when the y value is positive half. So positive half is here. The angles are going to be here and here on the outside of the unit circle. So the first angle that makes the y value equal to half in radians. So let's flick back to our unit circle. Okay? We're going to track around until we find a y value of half. Okay, we can see that it corresponds with 30 degrees. We need to answer in radians. We have pi on 6. Or we expect this other answer over here, where the y value is also half. The y value over here is also half, and that's 5 pi on 6. Okay? And then we have cos theta is root 3 on 2. Okay, root 3 on 2, and is this time are we in degrees or are we in, there we go, just still 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so what we'll do here, we're going to go, alright, this time, cos is the x value. When is the x value root 3 on 2? That's going to be about there, it's about 0.86. And on our unit circle, it's going to be this point and this point here, isn't it? Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to look at the unit circle and we can localise where they are. But what are the values of the angle that make the cos value root 3 on 2? We'll have pi on 6. Cos is the x value, and 11 pi on top of 6. Really good. Okay, does that make a bit of sense? Okay, so 5e is a lovely exercise. We've got quite a few questions in there. We'll just start with 5e, see how we get on today.